Welcome to a very special edition of Globe Watch 8 from the office of the President of the Cameroon Football Federation here in Yaoundé, Cameroon. A few weeks ago, I was in a foreign country and I had the chance of addressing over 500 foreign students. And when I asked them whether they know Cameroon, none of them responded positively. And then when I looked at the classroom and realized that a majority of the students were aged between 15 and 25 years, I asked them if they know Samuel Etofi is a great footballer, and all of them said yes. And so I realized that I come from a great footballing nation, although the football leadership in this country has been far from being great. The troubles of the Cameroon Football Federation, Fecafoot, one of the most dynamic and important in Africa, seem to be coming to an end with the election of a new president to decide on the destiny of one of Africa's most important, powerful football nations. So, can Tombi AROKO Sidiki make a difference? The president of the Cameroon Football Federation, Tombi AROKO Sidiki, welcome to Globe Watch.
Thank you, Charles, for welcoming me into this program.
Let me do something which I have never done on this program. Let me start by congratulating you for your elections. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. I'm grateful, and hopefully this congratulation will help me to go forward.
Okay. You know the troubles at Cameroon Football Federation. Deeply in you, do you think you are the right person to manage Fecafoot at this time?
In my personal opinion, I think I have the profile to run Cameroon Football Association because I have been there for long. I'm a retired football player, and I think I have the profile, and I can help Cameroon Football Association to go forward.
You just said that you have been here for long, and your last duty here was Secretary General of the Cameroon Football Federation. Did that in any way help you to understand the deep-seated issues and how you can frame a project for the association?
I think as Secretary General of the Federation, I had in this house 6 years to understand exactly what is happening in Football House. Because as Secretary General of the Federation, I worked with most of club president. I worked with the state administration, and this helped me to write a very attractive project. I submitted to those who are in charge of managing clubs, amateur football, from amateur football to professional football. This is why most of them have decided to elect me as a Cameroon Football Association president for the next 4 years.
You said that you wrote a very attractive agenda for Fecafoot. Can we have an idea of what qualifies that agenda to be attractive and people voted for you? What is new in that agenda that Cameroonians have not seen over the years?
Yeah, my agenda was simple. That means within 4 years, 10 mandates, I decided to suggest to those who are organizing football on the ground to a project of 11 points. 11 points. The first point of this project was collaboration with state and its institution. The last point, that means point number 11, was social responsibility of Fecafoot, because we think it is our duty maybe to make sure those who are retired football players uh, should maybe be trained to become managers of football, to become football trainers, and so on and so forth. And one of the biggest point in this project was organization of football, from amateur to professional football, youth football, female football, because we think if we want to increase our level, we should well organize youth football, because those who will become good football players, they will sign professional contract, they will be playing for Indomitable Lions, for our country to win games and to improve our image at the national and international level.
You see, when you won elections, which people like Abdurrahman feel that there was some element of illegality, but probably will not be going to all of that, because I saw you a few days ago, you were received by the president of the National Olympics Committee, which means that we are moving towards a total recognition of the entire process. I'm talking of Colonel Karkaba Maboon. But one of the arguments many a Cameroonian will put is that you have been in this circle for long, which has produced shameful football to Cameroonians, and that it was just putting old wine into new wineskins. Are you going to make a difference?
Yeah, I think I have the ambition to put into this football new ideas, because I think with whole people, they can make something new. This is why I have experience, I have the knowledge of the milieu, and I can suggest something new, because I have been there and I know what was a lack of management here in Fecafoot. This is why
you saw what happened in Brazil 2014. You saw how the image of the country was terribly damaged when players of the same teams had to headbutt each other. That was a demonstration that Cameroon was a country at loggerheads at the global stage. We were the best example of the worst football nation in Brazil. How will you collaborate with the various teams, with the various stakeholders, with the national team in particular, that such catastrophic episodes don't repeat?
You know, what's happened in 2014 in Brazil was a shame. It was a big shame for Cameroon football, because of this relationship between players and those who were in charge of managing football. This is why I think there is a training camp in
You
Bruxelles.
are part of that management. Do you apologize today?
Yes, I apologize, because, you know, I was Secretary General, but indeed, the Secretary General is not in charge of taking decision. There is an executive committee who is in charge of taking decision, and the Secretary General is obliged and condemned to put into application this decision. This is why I was not at that time responsible of decision taken by the Executive Bureau of Fecafoot at that time. This is why today I think I am in a position of apologize, because now we think we should have good relationship between players, staff, technical staff of Indomitable Lion, and Executive Bureau of Fecafoot. We have to be into hand in hand, working together, and those players, they will be confident, and everything will be going through at that time. I don't think this image we gave in 2014 in Brazil should come again.
Okay. You just mentioned in your first point of 11 points agenda, collaboration. And probably you are not only going to collaborate with the state, but surely you are going to frame a team, a group of people you are going to work with. And collaboration will equally means talking and even having some of your opponents, people like Abobala, who call themselves the progressive wing of the Cameroon Football Federation in the Southwest region. Will you be inclusive in having within you those who oppose you? If they have good ideas, will you subscribe to their ideas?
Yeah, of course, because talking, comparing with what was happening before, I promised to meet some of my opponents at the beginning, and I promised to talk to Agbo Bala. I spoke with him before election, and I suggested to him a consensus in Southwest with Senator Mbela Moke Charles, but unfortunately, he refused this consensus. Even now, election is over, I'm still ready to talk to this young boy. Concerning other opponents, I'm on my way to Douala, for example, to try to meet those guys who were against me, Bel Joseph Antoine, Loga, Emmanuel, Ekeke Eugene, and so on and so forth. So I think my own policy is to bring everybody in the same project so we work together for the national interest of Cameroonian football.
Let's talk infrastructure. This is a nation to host next year the Female African Football Jamboree, and in 2019, this nation will be hosting the Continental Football Jamboree, the African Cup of Nations. And this same nation has one of the best FIFA and Africa Cup of Nations records. But you know what? Football infrastructure in this nation is simply a catastrophe. What are you going to do?
You know, in my project, we wrote a point concerning developing infrastructure. So we think state cannot be doing everything alone. This is why we think we should help our government to developing some infrastructure at the level of the federation. This is why we have decided to identify some towns where
are you surprised by the fact that a state like Akwa Ibom in Nigeria will have a masterpiece 21st century football stadium, and this country called Cameroon, I'm sorry to say it if I'm wrong, cannot boast of a football stadium that meets 100% international standards?
Yes, this is why, according to what the head of state, His Excellency Mr. Paul Biya, he has decided to run a program of developing infrastructure. And this is why we think maybe within 10 years, Cameroon will have sport infrastructure nationwide. That each capital of the region, each subdivision, we will have some sport infrastructure.
Okay.
And in this occasion, we have decided at the level of Fecafoot to put into our effort to develop football infrastructure. This is why we have identified some towns like Bamenda with Mankon Stadium, Ngaoundéré, Bangante Bafia, Ngumu, Sangmelima, and I think it is Bafang.
Okay.
So from now to the end of our mandate, we should have construct 5 or 7 stadiums to host professional football from League 1 to League 2.
Okay. When you look at the European League and many other Western football associations, Cameroonians seem to be some of the best footballers in the world. And this is what has sold so well the image of this country over the years. But probably it's not the best case today. You can quote Samuel Eto'o, Africa's player of the century, Albert Roger Miller, the 1990 exploit, the 2000 exploit in Sydney during the Olympic Games and whatsoever you can imagine. As the new president of the Cameroon Football Federation, what message do you have to the international football world vis-a-vis Cameroon's footballing ambitions, especially when it comes to following up rising stars playing in Western leagues?
No, I think my own ambition, we have to increase our level. We have to bring back all those international Cameroonian football lovers to believe in Cameroon project, to believe in our project. This is why we think we should put into this organization youth football as our main ambition. Because if we have a youth football well organized, what is sure, maybe within 4 or 6 years, Cameroon can be the best African team here in Africa. That means maybe number 11 or 15 in the world. This is why we think all Cameroonian football lovers and those who are abroad and even international lovers of Cameroonian football, we will make everything. If we have a new pitch where they can play professional football, we think maybe from America to France, somebody from France or somebody from United States can find some good talented football player and propose them professional contract.
And for all of that to happen, we have to run away from corruption and embrace transparency. And this is one of the hot spots of Fecafoot, with billions and billions coming into Fecafoot from competitions throughout the years. What is the financial state of Fecafoot you have just met?
We have decided to call an accountant, maybe to put on the ground the state of our finance. Maybe
to do an audit.
Yeah, to do an audit, because.
But you have been Secretary General for a year for long, so what is in now in terms of cash?
In terms of cash, I don't have the situation, because 2 months before this election, I was out of the service. So I can't tell you exactly what is the cash situation of Fecafoot at the moment. Anyway, I called an accountant to come and make an audit. With this audit, maybe within 2 or 3 weeks, I will be able to give you the cash situation of Fecafoot.
Okay. Are you a lover of transparency?
Of course.
How much does the president of Fecafoot earn? By the way, before asking a question about your salary, let me hand to you my own, that is my pay slip from CRTV. You can read my total sum of money.
Yeah, 280.
280,000.
Yes.
How much is the president of Fecafoot paid?
I think it is a decision from Board of Administration.
How much was how much was the previous leader paid? The person you served as is Secretary General. I'm talking of Iya Mohammed. How much was he paid? Each month?
500,000 each month.
500,000 each month?
500,000 each month.
Okay. Okay.
Which is not the same with a normalization committee president.
How much was he paid?
Around 1 million.
Around 1 million. Why
Yes.
that difference?
No, because it is a simple decision of a Board of Administration. It depends, because somebody who has been working daily, because the normalization committee president was here every morning and every afternoon. So I don't think a former minister, a very big lecturer in the university, I don't think 1 million is enough. I don't think. So at that time, the Board of Administration decided to give him a salary of around 1 million.
How much would you like to be paid if you were to decide on your salary?
No, I'm not the one to decide. You know,
if they had to seek your opinion on how much you should be paid.
No, you know, if it is my own opinion, all the workers will like to have the most important salary. This is why, according to my own opinion, I don't think I should be the one to decide. It is a decision from the Board of Administration of Fecafoot. So let us wait. I think there is a Board of Administration in 3 or 4 weeks. So they will have responsibility to decide how much they can pay this as indemnity the president of Fecafoot for the next 4 years.
Specifically concerning the next year's female African Cup of Nations taking place here and the 2017 Gabon rendezvous for the men's portion of the game. What are Cameroon's national team ambitions? And do you intend to bring Samuel Eto'o back, as rumors are indicating?
Our main ambition, we wrote it in our project, is to win female African Cup of Nation next year here in Cameroon, because we have the responsibility to organize this competition. And our ambition for men football in 2017 in Gabon is to qualify at least semi-finals of this competition. And the last one, but not the least, ambition for us is to win African Cup of Nation organized here in our country in 2019 here in Cameroon. Okay. This is our ambition.
It seems as if you have a very...
Concerning Samuel Eto'o,
yeah,
the Fecafoot president is not responsible from calling players to go into a team. This is the unique responsibility of the head coach of Indomitable Lion.
Okay, and you just talked about the head coach of the Indomitable Lions, and we also what happened in Equatorial Guinea, because Cameroonians were shocked that people like Clinton G were taken out of the pitch, and these are the people who qualified the team to play for Equatorial Guinea. What if such occurrences take place again, where the life of the national team is rested in what some people call the reckless decisions of coaches?
Yeah, you know, as far as football is concerned, there are many coaches in a national team like Cameroon Indomitable Lions, because the coach...
Who are the other coaches apart from the...
Spectators, spectators are coaches, journalists are coaches, because journalists, they don't follow.
Government officials are coaches?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Even some football administrators are coaches. But, you know, head coach is the one following daily the team. Because I don't think a coach can say he should put out a player who can bring him a victory. This is why I spoke with Mr. Finker, and he told me at that time Mr. J. Clinton was not ready to do what he did during matches, qualifying matches. This is why he said J. Clinton is a very good young talented football player, so he should not put him in the front of this, and so Cameroonian will start saying, oh.
And as soon as the competition ended in Equatorial Guinea, the next day is that we saw him playing in France and scoring.
Yes, but...
How do you explain all of that?
No, the pressure
a lot of gymnastics.
No, the pressure is not the same. J. Clinton playing with Liverpool, with Lyon, with Cameroon national team, the pressure is not the same. It is terrible. When you see a Cameroonian player, the same J, we saw him here against Mauritania. I think he was replaced at, I think it was the second half, he was replaced because he was not playing. He was not at the top level we were waiting him. This is why, as far as football is concerned, it is very, very difficult. When you put this jersey of Indomitable Lion, it is very, very difficult, because for a young player, it is a very, very big responsibility.
Finally, you are seeing what is happening at the world's football governing body, FIFA. Joseph Sepp Blatter used to be guest on this program, the outgoing FIFA president. Are you worried of the image, the credibility, the uniqueness of football when you have a series of corruption scandals and financial misdoings?
But the problem, since they said this, they are still into FIFA organization, which means there was a lot of pressure for them to do this declaration. And now, what is sure, Fecafoot is trying to do best and best things. This is why, concerning Mr. Blatter, I don't have any comment to do, because I know Mr. Blatter is the one who bring this FIFA at this level. Because before Mr. Blatter, nobody around the world was having information concerning football organization at the FIFA level.
And that is where you want to take Fecafoot?
I want to bring Fecafoot very up and try to do everything that Cameroon image at the level of football should be one of the best one worldwide.
The president of the Cameroon Football Association, TOMBI AROKO, thanks very much indeed for being guest on Global.
Thank you. I'm grateful.
You are
Thank
welcome.
You. Thank
you are
you,
welcome.
Sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.